Folks, welcome back to another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers. Today, I'm wearing a bomber jacket thanks to my grandfather. He's getting a little rotund around the waist, so Grandma had to throw him out. But I came in there and swooped it up. Brian, how we living?
Wow, getting some sloppy seconds from Grandpa. Oh gosh, that does not sound right. But you know what? Grandpa's got some swag. I love the San Diego hat as well. You got a good brown look, but we're not here about fashion today. We're here about anime taking on Hollywood. I think Hollywood is scared, and I would be too. Steven, what do you got for us today? Oh, he's drinking his coffee. He doesn't got time for us. Sony Pictures, Mr. Big Shot.
This is why I actually took a sip of it. You know why? Because Sony made the incredible decision to buy Crunchyroll mid-pandemic. And I think that has helped this anime craze kind of get bigger and bigger in the United States, also across the globe. And the first show that Brian and I want to talk about today is Kaiju number 8, season 2. So new episodes started coming out roughly around a month ago. And Brian, what were you saying?
Well, I was almost going to say that I almost think that we should talk about Chainsaw Man first.
Okay, done.
You know, I think that's what the people want. You know, I think Chainsaw Man is kind of making waves. No discredit to Kaiju number 8, but I think Chainsaw Man and what it's doing in theaters right now, and Steven's got a little bit of the numbers here, but what it's doing right now is revolutionary, and I hope that the industry takes a pivot more. And Steven and I have been on the anime train for a while, and I think everybody, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, you judge anime at first, and you think, you know, especially here in America, that it's kiddie or whatever. But once you get to experience it, they're just storytelling and how hard they go and how much fun it is of an experience to watch, as we've talked before in other genres like scary movies, and why they seem to still be doing rather well in the box office, is that anime is a fun watch. You go in and it takes you on a journey. You see things that blow your mind, see things that are new, that are fresh, and you know, it just shows how viable this industry is, not only in internationally, but is now becoming more and more so in America as well.
Speaking of viable, Brian, yes, that is a great point. This movie, Chainsaw Man, the movie Res Arc, I might be pronouncing that wrong, apologies. It cost $4.1 million to make. Okay, so that is a low budget cost, even for a Hollywood, well, I shouldn't even say that, but an independent movie these days. That is very low. If a movie came out with a 4.1 budget, you go, whoa, that's a pretty low just not a heavy investment into the production itself. The total box office that this has made is $139 million. That is a
so far,
correct.
It's still there. It's still going.
Yep. My cousin saw it actually 2 days ago. That's why we're talking about it right now, because I was like, where are you going? So that is a 34x return on production cost alone, before merch, before streaming, Blu-ray. Brian said, it's in the theater. So, man, and you know, with Demon Slayer, those two movies back to back, just absolutely murdering it. It's very cool to see movies like this thrive. You know, box office is not dead, folks. It is really popping off in Japan specifically. So credit to them, and obviously, $31 million of that 139 came from people in America.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Chainsaw, real quick, I'll give you a little brief discovery of the, or a little bit of an explanation of the plot. It's pretty much about this boy that lives in a world where people are, you know, it's like post-apocalyptic in a way, where they're like hired mercenaries to do horrible things. They live with demons, and demons are looked down upon. But this boy finds this one demon who he becomes really good friends with, and they both get, well, I don't want to. They are forced to combine, and they become Chainsaw Man, who is working not only to buy back his freedom, because he's in a tremendous amount of debt, like a ridiculous. Like, he sold his eye, he sold his testicle. It's pretty extreme and out there, and he's also extremely deprived as a human being as well. I think that they always find an angle on top of the coolness to make it personal and to make them empathetic and weak in a way where it's like, oh, there's something still like endearing and room for a lot of growth, and pretty much is yearning for love and to be desired by women, and I it's funny. I think it can be a lot for people as well. But this just passed Dragon Ball Z Broly, so this is becoming more and more of a box office thing. This is done by Mappa Studios, which is a powerhouse with animes now, and they're pumping out animes. I feel bad for the animators. I know that there is a lot of a lot of talk about their conditions and being overworked and underpaid and all of that. But these guys are putting their heart and soul into it, these animators, and I hope, this earns them the right to get paid more, because 34X, give these animators some more money, because this is even more proof that when you let people who respect and have love for the art and what they do, they make better projects. And
Yep.
these are the people that should be getting, how can they maintain this where they give them the money without tightening the reins? Because
So-
you've got to trust artists. And this is a great example. And I think it's an indication. I mean, it made 18 mil opening week. That's when you see like a movie like Beluga or whatever the heck it's called, with Emma Stone, costing hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're only making like 6 million.
Begonia. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like when you compare movies, like Hollywood's got to be pulling out their hair seeing this. And I would think they're probably, if you're if you're trying to sell movies to Hollywood right now, I would be looking to write some anime-esque stories, because I think Hollywood's classic of chasing the coattails of other people's success and copying it afterwards. So I expect that's where they'll go, because money talks and it's talking.
Yeah, well, the masterpieces that Mappa has made, just for a little brief preview in case anyone didn't know: Jujutsu Kaisen season 1, 2 in a movie, Chainsaw Man season 1 plus this movie, Attack on Titan the final season, and one of my favorite animes I've ever seen is Hell's Paradise, which season 2 will be dropping in 2026. So yeah, Brian makes a good point. We've talked about this ad nauseum before. I mean, one battle after another. That movie cost $130 million. Begonia, which might as well be an indie film for the way that they advertised it, and it seemed like the story in and of itself is just, these things are costing way too much money. So congrats. Instead of thinking about the negative of Hollywood, congrats to
Yes.
Japan for crushing it. They really, I mean, and we're big fans over here. Speaking
Pay
of
your animators. Pay your animators.
Pay your animators. Speaking of another show that we talked about briefly in the beginning here, we got Kaiju number 8, season 2 just came out about a month ago. Now, this is a show that is made by 3 production companies: Production IG, Toho Animation, and Toho. So very
Yeah.
successful TV show. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off a little bit, Stephen. I jumped the gun. I get excited about this manga, because this is one that I'm up to date with and current and reading as well. It's impressive to see now how concurrent the manga and the TV shows are coming out. I feel like they used to, get a little bit further ahead than they are now, where they're like, this is working, anime, go, go, go. And I think it does bring a lot of eyes to the manga as well. But I really like this. Just to give a quick little summary as well of the plot of Kaiju number 8, if you haven't seen it as well, it's an interesting and fun, good-hearted story that I think takes the trope of kaijus and kaiju hunters, Pacific Rim type things, a very classic monster and giant mecha fighting, and kind of flips it on the head of following the protagonist, and he is just part of the disposal unit that cleans up after these battles, and he wants to be part of the defense squad, which has his best friend and who he grew up with. The girl, I think it's I'm gonna butcher it,
No, don't worry about
but
it.
I'm not even gonna
Yeah,
butcher it. It's gonna make me
Yeah.
seem like a casual. I am, but I do love this series. I think that I will watch these. I'll support these animes. I think this is another example. I hope they deliver as hard and as charming as the manga is, and I'm definitely gonna be watching this.
Nice. Well, for the record, kaiju, that literally means strange beast or strange creature. So obviously monster is in there as well. So yeah, Brian's right. Like this is not an untouched general storyline with the monsters and the fighting the monsters, but it's got this really, unique kind of twist to it. I'm liking it so far, season 2. I think one of the coolest things about this show is just how terrifying Kaiju number 9 is.
Yeah,
Like,
he's great. He's a great villain, and I think he's very dynamic, and they do a very good job of like each one. They're always like one-upping each other. You're like, oh, he's got the edge. Nope. And anime does such a great job of putting everybody always in scenarios where you're like, oh, it's screwed. Like they're screwed, and keeps on like the tech of all the defense squadron and how much personality and how they fit. Again, there's such artistry with these projects, and I think that these manga anime shows are top level storylines out there. So if you're out there and longing for better stuff, there is better stuff out there. Whether you watch an anime or you pick up the manga, you're not going to be disappointing with these series. Pick them up, give them a shot. I just I'm behind on the Chainsaw Man. Obviously heard about it a lot, like Don and a lot of these other series. And I'm picking up the manga. They're great reads as well. So if you're longing for good stuff, it's there. Just got to check these out. But we appreciate you all watching. We'll check you out on another episode, and we're going to keep our eye on anime. I know you guys will too. We'll see you all on another episode of the Blockbuster Brothers.